and welcome to the Tea Junction. I'm Jats. Now today we are in Essex, and being in Essex can mean only one thing. Yes, that's right, we are featuring a Ford on this episode today. Now we're going to go inside this building here to meet Steve and his partner Dawn, and what they've done is they've taken what used to be a normal, humble family car and converted it into something that's very unique and personal to them. Big accelerator, you can't miss that, can you?
No.
The loud pedal.
There's a claim to fame with that.
Right.
That came off of Roger Clark's rally car.
And this Timewarp 2 decal that you've got.
That's all hand painted.
Let's go inside and meet them. Hi Steve.
Hi Jazz.
Nice
How are you?
to meet you. Yeah,
good.
Good. Well, here we are.
My baby.
Let's go and have a little chat.
Yeah, definitely.
This car is, well, it's amazing. I saw it in November at the NEC and I was taken aback by it.
It's a Mark 5 Cortina estate with a Mark 4 front.
I'm going to ask you about that. It doesn't have the wraparound indicators.
I never liked them.
Right.
So I put the Mark 4 front on it.
Yeah.
It's a Reliance Scimitar 3.1 litre V6, 4-speed gearbox with overdrive, V6 Cortina rear axle,
Yeah.
and everything else is uprated.
I think what we'll do now is we'll have a look at the car, take a closer look at it and see what we think. I love the rocker cover on this. It actually says Cortina 3.1 on there.
They were made for me by a guy in Ireland.
Brilliant.
It's the only set in existence.
Really?
Yeah.
And the actual engine itself, I take it, you said it came from a Scimitar.
Yep. It came to friend Caroline, who he rebuilt it, and he's very meticulous in whatever he does.
Yeah.
So it's big valve heads, ported, polished, lightened, balanced, everything.
Yeah.
It's absolutely everything's done to it. And he had it also in a Cortina, run it around the Cortina,
Right.
which unfortunately literally fell apart around itself with rust.
Yeah.
And he pulled it out and sat it in his garage.
Yeah.
And I was round, I think I was round there doing the seats, having the seats wired. And when it still had the diesel in it, and he said to me, "What are you going to do with that old diesel?" I said, "It's got to go. It's like, it's doing my head in." He said, "What are you going to put in its place?" Well, at the time I had a 2.3 V6 from the Cortina that needed a rebuild. And I said to him, I'll probably chuck the 2.3 in it. And he went, "Well, my old 3 litre sitting over there if you want it."
Because trying to get hold of one of these engines now...
There are not many of them. They're around, but
they're
not,
around, but you'd be paying a pretty penny for them as well.
they command a good premium now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave me the engine and the gearbox, which luckily had come out of a Cortina. So all that's unfortunately he got rid of the mounts, but I made my own mounts to go in it.
Right.
The headers are from a 3 litre Capri.
Yeah.
They chopped about to go to fit,
Yeah.
and the rest is basically as he had it. I had to modify the heater box
Yeah.
because that didn't fit.
Right. And the carburettor is the original carburettor?
It's the old D-gas Weber, 38
Right.
D-gas Weber, which I've only just rebuilt because it was playing about.
Yeah. That's incredible. It's a little bit like hearing the 3.1 litre engine unmuffled almost. I know it's got silencers on it.
They're quite big, but they're straight through. So
Yeah.
it is almost unmuffled.
Sounds beautiful. Amazing. I can see already. I mean, there's a foot where the accelerator pedal should be.
Yep.
That's a nice big accelerator. You can't miss that, can you?
No.
The loud pedal. And then the steering wheel.
There's a claim to fame with that.
Right.
That came off of Roger Clark's rally car.
No.
Yes.
Really?
That was off of Roger Clark's rally car.
Yeah.
and I used to marshal with a friend of mine,
Yeah.
and we was in the pits when his car came in the day he rolled it on the RAC,
Okay.
and it came back, and they was pulling all the bits off it,
Yeah.
and it was sort of squished down like that.
Yeah.
And the guy pulled it off and chucked it on the floor, and I said, "Can I have that?" And he went, "Take it." But
Yeah.
I've got to mention this.
Yes.
This wonderful car fitted by my grandson Toby late last night,
Yeah.
and he's done an absolutely amazing job. I'm so proud of
He
that.
stitched all of that last
He
night.
stitched all that himself.
That's very good.
He's never done it before. He sat here and he said, "How do we do it, Grandad?" I went, "I haven't got a clue,
Tell
mate."
me.
So he got out his phone and he Googled it, as you
Yeah,
do.
yeah, like you do these days.
And the next minute, I've got a steering wheel cover.
That's incredible.
Absolutely amazing. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
So proud of him.
And then I see there's a lot of glitter work on this car.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the dashboard, you've got the doors, you've got, it's
You have to thank a certain person in a wheelchair for that.
Dawn.
Yes.
Her influence.
Dawn loves glitter.
Right.
Absolutely loves glitter.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of it on the car.
Yes.
I mean,
We couldn't. We have had a car with the glitter on the outside,
Right.
but it was too much.
Yeah.
My bags that my granddaughter made me
Oh yeah.
to carry bits in. Look.
Sweet. That's so lovely.
Yeah. It's a Escort 1.3 spun around.
Is that what it is?
Yes, exactly what it is. It's a 1.3 Escort, but turned around to 3.1.
Great. And then when we look at the front of the car, I mean, obviously you've got the lighting, which I love the lighting, right? Because that was for Halloween, wasn't it? I think
Yeah.
you said, yeah. But the headlights, they are from
They're a Ford Capri.
right.
They're late Mark III Capri lights.
Yeah. Yeah. And the actual housings that they're sitting in.
Yep, they're
Are they
Capri.
Ford
They're
Capri as
Capri
well?
housings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the whole light's Ford Capri there.
Before it was all open, and
Yeah.
all behind here is washer bottle, fuel pump,
Yeah. Usual stuff.
batteries behind that side,
Yeah.
and my little flame beastie, but his hair's gone flat. There he is.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And these, I mean, I've just noticed. I mean, there's obviously some, there's some work gone into that clearly, because you've got essentially what looks like almost like a ducktail spoiler.
Yeah, that's handmade. I made that
one.
myself.
Did you?
Yeah.
What was that fabricated from? Is that steel or is that fiberglass? Or?
It's actually plastic wiring trunking
No.
and fiberglassed over. Yeah, that's all it is.
And it just shows, doesn't it, the amount of
Yeah.
stuff that you can do if you put your mind to it. It's incredible.
Granada seats.
Yeah.
Electric heated seats for a bit of comfort.
And all of that works, yeah?
Everything works. That's courtesy of my friend Caroline.
Right, okay.
He done all the electrics for me because I.
But what about the mechanics? Because I'm assuming when you first got this car, it wasn't anything like this, was it?
It was rescued from a scrapyard.
Ah, right, okay.
It was my son bought it.
Yeah.
And he was going to play around with it.
Yeah.
He didn't get on with it that well. It had a diesel engine at the time, a Sierra diesel engine in it.
No.
Yeah.
What, the 2.3 was
No,
it?
1.8 it was.
1.8, yeah.
And it was awful.
Right.
It was absolutely awful. I drove it around for a year or two.
Yeah.
We used it.
Yeah.
And done bits and pieces, stacked a set of wheels on it and made it a bit different.
Yeah.
But I couldn't live with a diesel engine.
No.
So out it came, and it only took a couple of weeks to put the other engine in.
Yeah.
And about 5 years later, it was finished.
Wow. That's incredible, honestly. That is such a lovely story, isn't it? Of
Yeah.
a car that was, well, you thought clearly it was worth saving. And,
Yeah,
and that's what
it
you
was,
did.
it was a lot of work. It was a lot of welding, a lot of mucking around and whatever. But we done it.
How long did it take you to get it to from where it was, where you were driving around as a diesel, to making it into a 3.1?
I've had it just coming up to 12 years. I've had this car.
Right. Okay.
So virtually, when I put it on the drive, I thought, I don't like them wheels. They're coming off. So it started then.
Yeah.
But the major work was about 5 years, isn't it, mate?
You do little bits, didn't you?
Yeah,
And then
do.
you drive it around for a little bit more, then do a little bit more on the drive and do a bit more.
Yeah.
And they said, no, it's time now. It's got to come off the road and do it properly. And it's been 5 years.
It was actually painted here in the booth over the road.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Because we're in I mean, for the viewers, you'll think we're inside some kind of workshop, which we are, but we're actually on a farm, which is quite incredible, isn't
Very
it?
good friends.
The farm belongs to my friend James,
Yeah.
and he rallies a group of 5 minis.
Ah,
So
right.
this is the workshop to keep the minis going.
Brilliant.
So at the moment, he's very kindly cleared them all out and put them in the other barn so that we
Yeah.
can use this barn.
That's wonderful.
So,
That's
and there's
really good.
a spray booth in the other barn
Yeah.
where if they get damaged, they get painted and whatever. And
It's completely like self-serving, this place, isn't it? You
it's
can do
beautiful.
everything. Yeah.
James is amazing. He's such a good friend.
Wonderful.
He really is.
He built all of these specifically for
Ignore.
his minis.
Yeah.
To keep them on the road because he's got 4 that he values.
Right.
So there's always one of them that's off-road at some
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah. That's incredible.
So
Yeah.
he lets Steve come over now and again and we get a phone call. James, can we borrow the spray booth or can we borrow the workshop?
I borrowed the spray booth for a couple of weeks. And I think it was in there 3 months.
Right. And as far as the mechanics are concerned then, all the mechanical bits and pieces, you did those yourself,
Yeah,
did you here?
everything.
In this workshop here?
No,
or
that
did
was all
you-
done on the driveway at home.
Wow.
All the fitting the engine, the suspension, everything. That was all done outside the house in the driveway.
How wonderfully inspiring. I mean, this
Yeah.
is the thing, isn't it? And I think, for the viewers out there, this is what it's all about, isn't it, really? This is ordinary people, just like you and me, who have a bit of space on the driveway, seen an old car that they wanted to rescue, and they've gone for it.
Yeah,
That's all I can say,
Proper
really.
grassroots stuff. This is.
Yeah.
This is how we used to build them in the 70s and the 80s.
That's right.
We didn't
yeah.
have. Nobody had workshops. We only had the side of the road.
We've all been there. You're on
Yeah.
the side of the road,
So-
even on a terraced house, that side on the pavement.
That's where they got built. That's where they happened.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
No,
the
well
only,
done.
The only thing it really came into was for the paintwork.
Yeah.
Even all this, the
Yeah.
glitter, was all done on the driveway. It was only the outside
Yeah.
that was done here. All
Yeah.
the glitter, the interior, everything was done on the driveway. Under a gazebo.
Yeah. Incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And so this car, I mean, you explained a little bit about the mechanics, but I mean, I noticed the exhaust pipe is coming out in
Yeah.
front of the rear wheel rather than behind the rear wheel.
I kind of couldn't be bothered to make it go over.
Right, okay. You took the shortcut. Hey, if it
it was
works,
easier.
and
It was
it
easier.
actually suits the character of the car. I think I've
Laying
got
on
to
your
say
back
that.
on the driveway, building an exhaust.
Yeah.
It was easier to go outside than go over.
Yeah, well, we're going to take a closer look at the car in a minute anyway, and we'll have a good wander around it and see all
It's
the
loud.
bits and pieces. I'm sure it is.
It's very
I'm
loud.
sure it is. I take it there's no muffler on that exhaust,
There's one.
is there?
Oh, there's one either side.
As far as the gearbox is concerned then, is that just Ford Granada gearbox that's in
It's
there?
a Reliant Scimitar.
Scimitar, yeah.
It's the 4-speed with a Laycock overdrive on the back of it.
Okay. And all of that was done by you, yeah?
Yeah. Yep, it was wired by my friend Caroline.
Yeah.
I'm colourblind, so me and wiring do not mix. As you, the grin on-
It's a nice green car you've got here.
the grin on your face says you know all about that.
You often
if
have
you-
Steve running into the house. What colour are these wires? Oh, okay. I'll have a count, put them on now.
I'm running with 3 wires. Which one's the red one? That one, right. That's one knot in that one. Which one's the brown one? It's that one, right. 2 knots in that one. And I run back out and wire it up. But other than that, I don't.
Oh, well, it's worked. I think that's all you can say, really.
I have totally rewired it myself,
Right.
but because they're vivid colours, I could do that.
Yeah.
But the bits like the overdrive, the seats, I didn't have a clue how to wire a relay.
Yeah.
So it was, Caroline, can you help me?
No,
His
no.
name's Tony, actually, but we all call him Caroline.
Right.
So, yeah, he does anything that's...
Yeah. Obviously, this journey must have started at some point, you and cars I'm talking about, not you and the Cortina, but you and cars generally. And I also noticed on the side there, it says Timewarp 2.
Yeah.
Makes me think there was something, or a journey or a story that happened before Timewarp 2 came along.
I started when I was at school, when I was a little snotty 8, 9-year-old. Mm-hmm. And I used to walk to school, and parked just by my school was a bright red Anglia with the headlights cut back like MGB style. And it had a set of alloy wheels on it, and I used to walk past it and go, I want one of them one day. I want that car. And a black stripe, I can see it in my mind now, it's vivid as anything. And I wanted that car. And as I grew up, my sister's other half, he bought an Anglia, and it came back, it was bright green with wheels on it, and I really want that car. And for some reason, Anglias have always popped into my head, or popped into my life along the way. Well, I ended up later on in life with an Anglia, sure enough. I had 2 or 3 of them in various states of tune or whatever. And I ended up one day with a group of friends around my house, mucking about with the cars as we used to. That needs a V8 in it. Of course it does, yeah. So we happened to know someone that had a V8 sitting in his garage. So that's when it started. Out comes the bulkhead and everything else, and he went a Rover V8. Just happened to know someone that had one laying around as such, so it went in with a V8 Rover and a 5-speed gearbox. And it was a couple of weeks, literally, after we'd put the engine in and got it running, we drove it to the NAC Nationals in Essex.
Wow.
Spitting and farting, backfiring everywhere because we hadn't wired it up right, and this wasn't right and that wasn't right, but I drove it there.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's my car. So, before that, it had got the flame. Every car I own has flames.
Yeah.
Every single car.
And why not, you know?
That's me, black and flames.
Yeah.
Through and through. And a friend of ours in the club, one of the guys passed away. Well, he had not a Hillman Hunter, a Singer Vogue, the Hillman Hunter shaped one. And he was quite a close friend of ours. And we went round and was talking to his mum and whatever, and she said, will you take the car? And I thought, well, what am I going to do with one of them? And she said, look, just put it on the road and in Derek's remembrance. I went, okay. So we decided, between the club, we would use it as like a pool car. That if anyone had their car off the road, they could borrow this one. So it worked for a year or two. And then another good friend, Trevor, decides, if we borrow it, we've got to do something to it. We've got to add something to it. So Trevor borrowed it one time. It came back with a wing this high on the back of it. Trevor's an engineer, so he engineered this wing that we bought at a swap meet for £1.
Yeah.
So then it became, you've got to add something that was £1. So we would walk around the swap meets and whatever. How much that, mate? £5. I'll give you £1 for it. And if we got it for £1, it went on the car. Me and a friend Scott at Hailing Island, we used to do a show at Hailing Island. And we was driving up and down the seafront, cruising around with everybody. And it had this monster stereo in it that we'd won for £1, bits and pieces. So we had Timewarp playing on the radio. Bouncing along the seafront, jump to the left, jump to the right, and as we're driving along, gets to the end of the seafront and there's a policeman sitting there. I'd be like, oh, what have we done? And she walked over and she went, I appreciate the dancing, guys, but can you keep your eyes on the roads? And I went, sorry. So that was Timewarp 1.
Yeah.
And it went, we kept it for years, this car. Sure enough, it ended up black and flamed.
Yeah.
It was sat in black with the rattle cans. I flamed it with rattle cans. It was jacked up at the back because we found the jack up kit in the swap meet, and it had an exhaust that was like that round because Trevor found a piece of aluminium pipe on the side of the road.
Yeah.
So that went on the back of it.
Got to do something with that.
It was amazing. It was the right thing, but it was amazing. We went everywhere in this thing. The biggest set of wheels we found, they bolted on the back of it. It ended up with a Cortina engine and gearbox in it because the other one packed up. A dummy supercharger hanging out of the bonnet. This thing had everything.
So flames have clearly been your thing then, haven't they?
Always. Every hot rod custom I've ever had's got it.
Yeah.
It's a signature style.
It is, isn't it? Clearly.
To be honest, even half the things in the house are flamed. The only reason this isn't flamed because they wouldn't show up on it, otherwise it would have been.
Not in a space that's supposed to put the flames on there, is there? But
No.
yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
She used to have a mobility scooter, which was flamed. So, but that was Timewarp 1.
So what did you do for a living? Because obviously doing mechanical work like this is, you know, you need to have some mechanical skill.
I've always worked with cars all the way through.
Right.
I worked at a body shop. I've done an engineering apprenticeship.
Right.
Worked in a body shop. Body shop was always my favourite because you make things look pretty, basically. Don't you?
Yeah. You see the results, don't you? Actually,
that
what
was always. I like that better than getting dirty and greasy and all that. As a schoolboy, I sent a letter to a guy named Alan Llewellin, ALPD, Al Llewellin's paint department, down in Romford, which at the time was probably the best custom painter in England, or one of the best, if not the best. And I sent him a letter when I was at school saying, I wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Can you teach me how to do it? So he sent a letter back, because there wasn't no emails or nothing back then. Like, I was only 14, 15. He sent a letter back saying, come down Saturday and have a go. So I went down there and we got on, and I was his Saturday boy.
Yeah.
So every Saturday I'd be up early at crack of dawn down to Romford, and I'd be in there, eyes glued to everything he was doing. I used to wash all the cars out the front, and over the course of time we got to know each other better and better, and he would let me rub things down and put primer on and bits and pieces like that. And then one night he says, I'm going to Chelsea Cruise tonight, would you like to come? And there's me like, yeah.
Cut me in.
I'll go, yeah, sort of thing. So we went off to Chelsea Cruise, and I'm sitting there, arm out the window like Billy Big Boots, because I was with Alan Llewellin, like.
Yeah.
And we done Chelsea Cruise.
So it's a little bit like, not only were cars around you, but you were making yourself available around cars all the time.
I knew everyone that was anyone at the time, because I was with Alan Llewellin, sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knew him because they wanted something done to their car.
Yeah.
Because I was with him, everybody knew me.
Yeah, sure. So what decade would that have been? About the 70s?
That would have been sort of mid to late 70s then. Yeah. Unfortunately, Alan moved to America, and he asked me to go with him, but I didn't go. And I was at a show in Hull, and a car park show in Hull. And I was chatting with a guy, and he said, I had a Toyota van at the time with flames all down it. And he said, I recognise them sort of flames. I said, do you? He went, yeah. He said, you must know Alan Llewellin. I said, yeah. I said, it was Alan who taught me. And he's got his phone in his hand, and he went, pressing buttons. Hello, mate. Yep, I've got somebody who wants to talk to you. And he gives me the phone, and I'm like, who's that? He went, it's Alan.
Wow.
I went, no. But it was Alan Llewellin.
Yeah.
So I was chatting on the phone for ages, what seemed like hours.
Trying to catch up all those years, I suppose, aren't you? Yeah.
It was great. It was wonderful. And then we'd arranged to meet up.
Yeah.
I missed him at a couple of shows we went to, and he was over that side, I was this side, and by the time I got there, he got over here, and never got to actually meet him again. And we arranged to meet up at a show, and he passed away a couple of weeks beforehand.
Oh.
And I was absolutely gutted. Really, really gutted. I never got in touch with him again. And hence the mural on the boot of the car it's not a copy, it's a tribute.
Yeah.
That was one of the murals that was on the side of our shop truck.
Right.
So but only one person has ever recognised what it is. But yeah, it does mean a hell of a lot to me, that one.
As far as this car's concerned, then, there's obviously a bonnet scoop on there now, but that is purely decorative, I take it, isn't it?
It does go, there is a hole under it.
Oh, there is, okay.
Yeah,
so
it does
will
go
actually
through.
feed it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't think it does much, but...
Yeah. But this is a completely fully working, driving, everyday usable...
It passed its MOT yesterday.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yep. I suppose it doesn't need MOTs, but...
It doesn't. It's old enough to not need one, but for insurance purposes and that,
it's always helpful.
It's just better to have one.
And to be honest,
peace of mind.
It's an old car, isn't it?
I know someone's walked underneath it and looked at it and go, yep, that's fine.
Yeah, it's not going to fall apart.
So, I know I haven't left anything loose or...
Yeah. We've got grandchildren that are often in the car and out with us for their safety.
Oh, definitely.
You've only got to have missed something small.
Yeah.
And to have a second pair of eyes go over something is well worth it.
Oh, no. For sure.
Definitely.
For sure, yeah. So I suppose, Dawn, for you, having been involved with this car, were you involved in any of the previous sort of incarnations of Time Warp and other things that Steve's been up to?
I think I came along just after Time Warp, didn't
when I
Time
met...
Warp was just on the verge of...
It was just on the verge of being sold, so it was back...
It was
back down low and just plain black again.
Yeah.
It was just sat in black, wasn't it?
When we first met. But then he owned up, he had a second car, which was the V8 Anglia, that was black and flamed, and that was awesome to be out in. It really was.
It must have sounded incredible, that.
That actually had no exhaust on it whatsoever. Oh. It came out the headers,
straight out the side.
It didn't have any silencers at all.
What I love most about being in these cars is you can drive along and you see people's reaction to it. You might pull up at traffic lights and you'll have someone stop in the middle of crossing the road to take a photo, or they'll smile as you go by. And it just, if it's lifting someone else's spirits, even for a few seconds, it's lifted down for the day.
Well, I can tell you now, Dawn, it did to me, because, and this is for the viewers' benefit as well, I went to the NEC Classic Car Show in November 24. I went into Hall 8, which is where all the Fords were. Had a little look around, and in the distance I could see flames, and it just drew me straight to it. And it does. It's one of those cars, I think, which, you know, it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but certainly for people who love cars and who love seeing things, interesting things, inspiring things that have been done to cars, this is a really, really good example, and it's a credit to you.
It was very interesting watching all the bits on YouTube after the NEC, because it appeared on a few of them. People would walk around and, oh, this is a Cortina, blah, blah, blah. And you'd get the odd one, they'd go to the first Cortina, go to the second Cortina, then skip to the next stand.
Yeah.
And there was one guy in particular, he'd come to the first Cortina and had a full description of everything that it had. Went to the second one, oh, well, I can see this one's got this. And he came to my one, he went, and this one's been modified. And walked off.
Yeah. But this is the thing, isn't
But
it?
it doesn't please everyone.
No,
I
no.
appreciate that.
But that's okay, because
Yeah, that's okay, that's fine.
you know, some people see cars as a blank canvas.
Yeah.
Some people are purists and they don't see cars as a blank
Yeah.
canvas. They sort of see it as whatever
As it
it was
came out
that
the
it rolled out of the
factory,
factory, you know,
yeah.
and that's how it should be. I'm not in any of those camps, to be brutally honest. I think, you know, people can do whatever they want to do with their cars if it makes them happy. And
Well, this is a nice rare Cortina Carousel.
yeah, it's a carousel, is it? Right?
Yeah.
That's what the base
Apparently
was.
there's about 6 of them left.
Yeah, there's probably not many left. Yeah.
It's like Marmite, you either love
Yeah.
it or hate it.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
But everybody's welcome to their opinion, aren't
Yes.
they?
Yeah.
And I think the wheels as well. I mean, these wolf races.
No, they're actually Cobras.
Cobras, right? Okay.
I never liked Wolf Race because they had the sharp step in the corner.
Right. Okay.
I like the more sort of radius.
Rounded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had Cobras for the front, and I searched far and wide to get American racing wheels for the back
Right. Okay.
because they have the same rounded slots.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. So what's next then?
Some peace and quiet, I think, for a moment.
Well, sitting in my
Said Dawn.
sitting at the back of my driveway
Oh dear.
She
Okay.
says no,
Is-
it's not going to last
is
long.
that a mega rare Anglia convertible.
Anglia convertible.
Yeah.
Anglia with the fin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ford 105E.
I don't think I've ever seen one of those.
Hence the plate on the front of this
Yeah.
for an Anglia,
Right.
which it will end up on an Anglia, but I had to assign it to say it went on here.
So thank you, Steve, for spending the time today.
More than
and to
welcome.
Dawn as well, for taking the time out and allowing us to come and have this wonderful conversation with you today and seeing this amazing masterpiece. I can't wait to see what you're going to do with the old Ford Anglia. So do stay in touch.
Oh, definitely will.
Thank
Yeah.
you. And thank you for watching too. And remember, if you've got a car story or a car journey like Steve and Dawn's that you'd like to share, then please get in touch. You can find our contact details in the description of this video. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Thank you again to Steve.
Yeah, more than welcome, and never give up.
Brilliant. That's a great place to end.
Never give up.
We'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much for tuning in. Bye for now.